Hi students, hope you had very good prelims. So now we will see the discussion about science and technology questions from UPSC Prelims 2025. So I have got a set A with me in which 41 question. This is the 41st question, which says consider the following type of vehicles. The options are full battery electric vehicles, hydrogen fuel cell vehicles, fuel cell electric hybrid vehicles. So if you see, these are new emerging trend of the transport system where these are alternative power training models or alternative models where you see both the utilization of both the traditional fuel along with that the modern fuels like the electric batteries. So if you see hydrogen fuel cell vehicles, yes, that is correct. And full battery electrical vehicles, that is also correct. And fuel cell electric hybrid vehicles, that is also correct. So the option C, all the three, these are the, all the three are correct. These three are considered as alternative powertrain vehicles. So 41 answer is C. So if you see, so what is alternative? These are the two main approaches to decarbonize the transport system. From this concept, this question has been asked where different types of alternative power trains. So these are not exclusively based on the internal combustion. Instead, they also include hybrids. You can also call it as strong hybrids, flexible hybrids, or completely electric battery driven EV vehicles. So all these come under this alternate power vehicles. Then the next question is, so in this question, 41st question, the answer would be C. We'll move to the next question, 42. So here the question is regarding unmanned aerial vehicles. So unmanned aerial vehicles, consider the following statements. All the types of UAVs can do the vertical landing. No, that is false. Why? Because there are some UAVs where they need a runway, a pathway, so that they can land like this, just like a traditional aircraft where they have stable wings. So they need a runway like thing so that they can do the landing. And then the next one, the all types of UAVs can do automated hovering. No, it is not possible. Why? Because to do hovering, it has to have some drag and lift and also some amount of the power. But in the case of some UAVs where there is a stable wings, unless it has momentum to move, it cannot hover at the same place. So this is also a false statement. And then the third one is all types of UAVs can use battery only as a source of power. No, this is also false. There are alternate sources of the powers. So if you see the explanation, as I was saying, the vertical takeoff and landing. So VTOL UAVs are only few or one of the component of the all the UAVs. For example, if you see the fixed wings like DRDO Rustum, so it needs horizontal platform to land where it can land like the traditional aircraft model. In the statement 2, no, it cannot do automated hovering because to hover they require this forward motion to get that lift. So this second statement is also wrong. And then the third statement, yes, there are other modes of the power like combustion engines, petrol, diesel, hybrid power. So not just battery alone. So if you see options again, so with reference to UAVs, consider the following statements. All the types of UAVs can do vertical landing? No. All the types of UAVs can do automated hovering? No. All the types of UAVs can use battery only as a source of power supply? No. So how many of the statements given are correct? None of the statement is given correct. So the answer would be D. So the 42nd question, the answer would be D. So we'll move to the next question. In the context of electric vehicle batteries, consider the following statements. Cobalt, graphite, lithium, nickel. How many of the above usually make up battery cathodes? So if you see, this is how the electric battery works, where the charger passes through a current to the battery where you have the anode and cathode. So in the anode side, it is generally the lithium ions that travel from cathode to anode, generating the traditional circuit or the voltage, the potential difference between the two electrodes, so that the current it passes through the battery. So in this, generally the cathode is made up of these lithium cobalt oxides, lithium manganese oxides, lithium iron phosphate, lithium nickel manganese cobalt oxide. So these are the some of the traditional ones which are used as the cathodes, whereas anodes, anode active material you can call it. So anodes on the other hand, so these are generally made from carbon based materials like graphite or silicon or the combination of the both. So if you see the options, so this will be a cathode and graphite it will be anode, lithium again cathode and nickel also cathode. So how many of the above usually make up the battery cathode? So graphite is not cathode. These three are cathodes. So answer would be C, only 3. Then the next question is a direct question where you can apply the basic knowledge. So consider the following: cigarette butts, eyeglass lenses, car tires. How many of them contain plastic? Of course, you all know this is the basic stuff. Cigarette butts do contain lenses, of course, and then car tires. So how many of them contain the plastic? All of the three. Answer would be 44C. All of the three will contain the plastic. And then the next question. Consider the following substances: ethanol, nitroglycerine, urea. So coal gasification technology can be used in the production of how many of them? So here he has given 3 compounds: ethanol, urea and nitroglycerine. We'll see. So ethanol, yes, because the coal gasification produces a compound called syngas, where carbon monoxide and hydrogen are mixed. This can be converted into ethanol through a catalytic synthesis or fermentation process. Yes, the coal gasification can help in the production of ethanol. But nitroglycerine, no, this is not possible because it is produced by nitrating glycerol, but not by this coal gasification method, where the nitrating glycerol it is done by nitric and sulfuric acid. So the coal gasification has no role in production of nitroglycerine. And then urea, of course, yes, you must have studied, where the syngas and ammonia, these are used in the production of urea. So the coal gasification, if you see the question again, so if you see the question, yes. So if you see the question, ethanol, so the coal gasification role, it is present in ethanol. Nitroglycerine, no, it is present in the case of urea. So coal gasification technology can be used in the production of how many of them? 1, 2. So only 2. So answer of the 45 would be only 2B. Then next question. What is the common characteristics of the chemical substances generally known as Cl20, HMX, LLM105, which are sometimes talked about in the media? Yes, this is why it is again in the news, because recently, so this was in news in 2024, where this was some of the output from DRDO, where Cl20, a high energy explosive, which is very powerful than the RDX and the HMX. It is used in military applications due to high detonation velocity and the pressure. So similarly, the other things also, they are the military explosives. So if you see the question again, so these are the explosives which are used in the military weapons. So answer would be 46B. So then the next question, it is regarding quantum technologies. So it is expected that Majorana 1 chip will enable the quantum computing. Majorana 1 chip has been introduced by Amazon Web Services. Deep learning is a subset of machine learning. So we'll see the discussion of this. So Majorana based qubits are through which the quantum technology is transferred. Qubits are theoretical building blocks for this fault tolerant quantum computing. Yes, that would make the first statement correct, where the Majorana 1 chip, it is used in the quantum computing and the quantum technologies. So this is how this chip looks like. This was in news recently. So that is why this question has been asked. And then the next second statement. So this is not produced by this Amazon Web Services. So this was developed by Quantinum, not AWS, Amazon Web Services. So that would make the second statement wrong. And of course, third statement is very direct one, where deep learning is a subset of machine learning. So as you all know, so if you see on a broad artificial intelligence, in that one subset is machine learning, and again in that deep learning is one more subset. So the statement is a direct statement where you can easily answer that. So this statement is wrong. Instead of AWS, it is Quantinum, and this first statement is correct and third statement is correct. So which of the statements given above are correct? So answer is 1 and 3, that would be C. So 47, the answer would be C. Then this is a very direct question, very basic question from the biology, where it asks about monoclonal antibodies. So these are man-made proteins. Yes, these are lab-made antibodies. Lab-made proteins are lab-made antibodies to boost the immunity of individuals. Lab-made antibodies. Yes, these are man-made proteins. They stimulate immunological function due to their ability to bind the specific antigens. Yes. So that would be the common basic function of a antibody, to bind the hostile antigen that is coming outside from the environment. Then these are used in treating viral infections like that of Nipah virus. Yes, that is correct. So if you see, so this is how this monoclonal antibodies, this is an antigen. If this is antigen, based on the specific antigen, the specific monoclonal antibodies try to bind by targeting, try to target them by binding. Once attached, they will make that antigen harmless. So now, if you see the statement, yes, these are man-made proteins. Yes, they stimulate immunological function due to their ability to bind the specific antigens. Yes, correct. They are used in treating viral infections. Yes, correct. So which of the statements given above are correct? So answer would be 1 and 2 and 3 D. 48, the answer is D. Then this is also a basic general question. If you study basics of biology, no virus can survive in ocean waters. Why will not virus cannot survive in ocean waters? So obviously this statement is wrong. No virus can infect bacteria. Of course this is wrong, because you all know the concept of bacteriophages, where virus will infect the bacteria and kill them, bacteriophages. And no virus can change the cellular transcriptional activity in the host cells. So this is also wrong, because if you have basic idea about HIV, so this is how this will change this, right? So RNA, DNA modifications, all those come under this genetical nucleic acid activity. So this is also wrong. So how many of the statements given above are correct? So no statement is correct. So the answer would be D. 49 D. Then the next question, this is also a direct question, a very easy question. You might have marked very easily. So activated carbon is good and attractive tool to remove pollutants from effluent streams and to remediate contaminants of the various industries. Yes, that is correct. Activated carbon exhibits a large surface area and a strong potential for absorbing heavy metals. Yes, that is also correct. Activated carbon can be easily synthesized from environmental waste with high carbon content. Yes, that is correct. Which of the following is correct in respect of above statements? Both statement 2 and statement 3 are correct, and both of them explain statement 1. Both statement 2 and 3 are correct, but only one of them explains statement 1. Only one of the statements is correct, so this will go, and neither this fourth option will also go, neither statement 2 or 3 are correct. This is also good. This is also is removed. So now you have to decide between A and B. Just see the statement. So activated carbon is a good and attractive tool to remove pollutants. So because this will explain here, and to remediate contaminants from the industries. So if you see, This statement has no specific role to justify the statement 1. So I would say both statement and statement 3 are correct, but only one of them explains the statement 1. The answer would be 50B. Answer would be 50B. Then some other questions were asked. So 83 was the another question. Yes. So this is regarding microgravity. Because of multiple times it is in news because of GAGAN or the other space missions that is being done by ISRO like SpaceX. So how many of the space missions given above encourage and support microgravity research? Yes, SpaceX I know, GAGAN you know, you must be knowing both these two. Axiom 3, this is in news. Sorry, Axiom 4, a commercial mission by Axiom Space. Axiom Space, where it is sending astronauts to International Space Station. So this is a microgravity laboratory, and Axiom missions are intended to carry out this microgravity experiments in biotech, pharma and material science. So yes, this is also involved, Axiom 4 also. And SpaceX, of course, you all know the docking and undocking experiments which should be working under this microgravity purposes. And then the, of course, human spaceflight, Gaganyaan mission, you must have read it multiple times. So, how many of the space missions given above encourage and support the microgravity research? So, everything is supporting. So, answer of 83 would be C, all the three. All the three. Then, yes, 83 C. Yes. Then the next one from defense. So, which with reference to the India's defense, consider the following pairs. So, these were the questions. Dornier 228, IL 76, C17, Globemaster 3. So, this you might have remembered because this was in news multiple times. You must have seen in various news articles. Of course, if you have no idea, this would be some tough question. So, we will see the first one is, so the first one it is Dornier 228. This is maritime patrol aircraft. So, where it works in with the tandem with the Navy, maritime patrol aircraft. So, this is multi-role utility aircraft used by Indian Navy and Coast Guard for maritime surveillance, pollution response and multiple things. So, it belongs to the maritime patrolling. And of course, the next one IL 76. So, IL 76. So, this is how it looks like IL 76. So, this is a strategic heavy lift military transport aircraft. It is not a combat aircraft. It is a heavy lift military transport aircraft, and of course, it is not supersonic also. So, this is primarily used for cargo and troop movement, cargo transport and troop movement. So, this is IL 76. And finally, this multiple times you must have seen this one in multiple rescue operations or multiple things. So, C17 Globemaster 3. So, this is the military transport. So, this is a military transport aircraft operated by Indian Air Force, used for rapid troop movement, equipment transport, disaster evacuation, multiple times, rescue operations. So, this was in news multiple times. So, now if you see the options, Dornier 228 maritime patrol aircraft, yes. IL 76 supersonic combat, no. So, this is a military troop or military cargo aircraft. And C17 Globemaster 3 military transport aircraft, yes. How many of the above pairs given above are correctly matched? So, the answer would be only 2 pairs, that is 84. Answer would be B, only 2 pairs. So, then the last question from science and technology, 94. GAGAN. So, this is a very direct question. You could have answered this very easily. So, GPS aided geo augmented navigation, GAGAN. It uses a system of ground situations to provide necessary augmentation. Which of the following statements is or correct in the respect of GAGAN? 1. It is designed to provide additional accuracy and integrity. Of course, that is correct. It will allow more uniform and high quality air traffic management. Yes. Yes, correct. So, this GAGAN plus IRNSS. So this is the prime motto. So it will provide benefits only in the aviation, but not in the other modes of transport. No, that is wrong. So it will help other modes of the transport also, because it will provide the maritime transport or the traffic management or something by the information from this satellites, where also from this component. So select the correct answer. Select the correct answer using the code given below. So third statement is wrong and 1 and 2 only. The answer would be 94D. 94D. So as I was saying, so this, it will benefit also this railways, road transport, surveying, maritime navigation, everything. It is not just to benefit only aviation, but also the other modes. So the answer would be D. So these were the questions from science and technology. Overall, I feel out of the 13 questions, I feel you could easily answer if you have some basic presence of the mind in the examination. All you could answer at least 7 to 8 of them, and of course, with specific where they had asked about aircrafts or the chip thing, unless you have read about that, you might not able to solve. But the other things, I think you could easily solve 7 to 8 of them. Hope you will get good marks in this. Thank you for listening.